I actually got an upload coming out on this tomorrow. Shout out to all the single fathers out there. Shout out to Charles Faulkner, because he definitely raised his kid and all that. I know he had an issue, still has an issue with Anton Daniels on, the switch stuff Anton Daniels had to say about him not being married. So this is for you virtue signal niggas out here. So I'm about to really go rapid fire on this. This is gonna be. I'm already telling you right now. This is already gonna be a classic ad stream because I'm annoyed. Probably be 30 minutes. I'm kind of annoyed because I got nasal issues and shit. But we about to go. I'm about to go in on this. So full disclosure, I don't have children. Okay. Full disclosure, I don't have children. Full disclosure, I don't come from a cookie cutter family situation. So yeah, there's that. There's that. But I definitely want to comment on this. So just to give you all a little bit of headway on this, Dana, not the real Dana, but Dana, y'all know that chick on TikTok. Her Scarface Mark is starting to go at it a little bit. Because Scarface Mark has been a father as of like 2 or 3 months ago. And Dana, I don't know. And quite frankly, I'm just going to put this out here up front. I don't know if this shit is fake. I don't know if they're just clip farming or if it's serious. Because generally these people get along. But on TikTok, it's like John Gannon's got his opinion. You got that Benny dude who's married. John Gannon who's married to a white woman. And that does matter because it's like, and we're black people and you're commenting on black culture, you're not really dealing with the problems because you married out of the problem solved. And we know nobody's out here really pushing the solution is for black men to not marry black women to deal with black women. That's not the solution unless you talk SYS being a red pill, which most of these niggas don't. Because nigga try to play like red pills and extreme and anti that. That's why that's relevant. Then you got Benny, who, loves to virtue signal. And Benny, will go in on the ladies, but a lot of times these dudes, you got a lot of dudes that they just love to virtue signal. They really do. And Anton, this is one of the annoying things about Anton, and one of the things that I liked about Kevin Samuels, because let's keep it all at 100, most of you niggas wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for Kevin. I'm one of the niggas that existed before Kevin. Kevin knew me. I'm one of the few niggas that Kevin actually said my name. Because there's a couple of things, even when it comes to finding your own store and stuff like that. Niggas are high behind views and all that. But at the end of the day, this shit is really not about views. This is that I'm not here for views because I would approach it a different way. I'm actually here. And I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying that they don't have good intentions. What I am saying is when people try to play that view stuff versus idea stuff, this is why a lot of these fools end up repeating shit that's already been said. Like, these fools are coming after the fact. So John Gannon is like 30. I think Benny is younger. And then Scarface Mark is 24. Just to give you an idea of who we're talking about age-wise. Meaning John Gannon is a year older than my youngest brother. And then Scarface Mark is young. Dana's 38. Just to give you an example, kind of where everybody's landing. So Dana is my age. Dana is a millennial. Dana's a millennial. John Gannon is basically like a last bus stop Z, a zillennial. Scarface Mark is basically Austin Holloman's age. So now we got the players set. Scarface Mark hasn't had a child. He's not married to his the mother of his kids. They're doing back and forth videos. Tomorrow I'll upload that video. Y'all get kind of the back and forths and stuff like that. Scarface Mark was with his kid, the mother of his kid when they were younger. Keep in mind, we're talking about a Z here, high school sweetheart thing. They have relationships on and off. I'm not sure if they live together. I think they do, because if a baby is going to be in the background, clearly he lives in that house. She's not working, clearly whatever. He's not blah, blah, blah. So at the end of the day, if he lives with her, to me it's a non-issue because it's a common law marriage. As far as I'm concerned. I mean, I ain't going to call it that for legal reasons, but obviously, but the thing is, that's essentially what that is. So we talk about paper. So we talk about like the power of paper. And people think they got this gotcha moment because you all want to say, oh, y'all come as single mothers, y'all come as single mothers, y'all come as single mothers. Now let's go with baby daddy, single mother makers, single mother makers. So I'm a couple of things. First of all, that's fucking irresponsible for a couple of reasons. Number one, that's disingenuous as hell. We all know who the fuck we are talking about when we say single mothers. The type of mentality that is and what that is. Niggas are not necessarily coming at women for... There's a couple of angles with this. And so this is one of the things, when you put stuff out there and then women will just repeat it. Because as Dana knows, these women are not trying to be correct. They're just trying to be right on the narrative. It's just like, the Sha'Carri Richardson situation, where if that dude continues to stay with her, she's now financially incentivized to make him look bad because she has to be seen as a victim, especially now, and not be seen as an aggressor, because it probably is going to affect her, because now it's gotten out too much with that leaking stuff. That's why she's giving that fake apology. So now it's either she wins or you lose. In order for her to win, you got to lose. And so when you put stuff out there like that, women are just going to say that and justify their own bullshit when she very much knows where the real problem is. The problem with fucking single, there's a difference between, quote unquote, I don't give a fuck about you married, wanna be doing shit right niggas, because most of you niggas that are married are just not divorced yet, based on the numbers. If you ain't been married over 10 years, you can shut the fuck up talking to me. Because real fucking talk, like even with Anton, everybody, look man, I like Anton even though he be cooning, but everybody know Anton be a fucking lame ass nigga if he didn't get with the wife that he got as early as he got. Anton needed to get out the game. And nobody really wants to say that for real, but that's just really what it is. And if you don't believe me, you saw that shit with Six the Goddess and Danica. What they really think about him when they don't need him. The reason why people fuck with Anton is because Anton always is aware of leverage points. Anton knows he's got clout and people want clout, so they let him get off when he's gonna get off, and because he can hide behind his shield of being married. But even Anton out of his own mouth, and Anton's not in this conversation, but he's one of the ones that is like the one that virtue signals the most. Even Anton will tell you about that he wouldn't want to be in this dating market. He has said that multiple times. Once he actually started talking to these chicks, he was like, oh no. Because Anton would be a trick. Anton, even with women that is on the looks level of his wife, and I'm not gonna judge that, Anton would probably have problems. Because for real. Let's cut the BS. So a lot of these people be hiding behind marriage, because there's a couple people that do that shit. I'm not gonna name their names. Niggas that they think because you were selected, it's not hard. Like truth be told, it's really not hard for men to get married. If men are willing to, it's just like taking chicks on dates. If you're willing to really willing to give away all your value, and give give a female a good enough deal. Yeah, just like Travis Hunter or any of that shit. Yeah, a lot of women will take that deal because they can always unmake that deal. So getting married, especially you in the military. If you in the military and you get married, that shit don't mean jack shit to me. I mean, even Rich was talking about how they do that shit for the money. Not saying that's how they all built up. I had people in the military. So I just want to dismantle all this shit where you niggas think y'all are perfect little snowflakes because you did it right. Nigga, you not. Yo bitch ain't just fucked you over yet. And that's not me being cynical. That just is what it is. That just is what the fuck it is. Like seriously. Like as if you niggas got the magic key card or some shit like that. All of y'all are in kind of exceptional situations. Especially now. And a lot of y'all got married a while ago. Which meaning stuff ain't as crazy. A lot of y'all was married pre-COVID. And even then, social media was still a thing, but still. So let's cut the bullshit. Anton was married pre even social media being heavy. Let's cut the bullshit. You see how these motherfuckers are blowing up these fucking marriages. They're leaving marriages to good men. Corey Hardrick, Devon Franklin. Because they want to be in these streets. That shit don't mean shit. You got a bitch right now crying, talking about she got, black female talking about she got the perp. I don't even know if she, to be fair, FBA. I don't know y'all seen her TikTok. She crying because she want to leave the man, but she don't really got no cause. She can't really go justify differences. She don't really got cause. And I personally believe she's frustrated because if she leaves him and then finds out she with somebody else, he probably got his stuff sold up to where maybe he don't got a prenup, but maybe he got the ability to probably get favorable outcomes and she's not going to really get nothing. Otherwise, why don't she leave? It's even other women talking about she's getting fucked or cracked or whatever. It's like, bitch, you getting fucked, you frustrated, you want to leave, you want to go outside so bad and you can't, you ain't got no excuse. She even said taking him on trips and all that. And my thing is that nigga need to let her go. That nigga need to let her go. So anyway, my point is, that's all the table setting. So my point is, this baby mama, baby daddy shit. First of all, for the fucking dumbasses, this is not a one-to-one thing. Number one, women can just open their legs and some broke-ass, dusty-ass nigga will nut in them. Even like water buffaloes and hogs, especially in the black community. That's not as true in other communities. As true, not saying it's not true at all, but like water buffaloes and hogs. Straight up. Straight up. Like, seriously. Women that you might as well be participating in bestiality. This is how fucked up some of these females are. And niggas are just going to try to use fucking gravity to pull her legs back and dive into that pussy. You niggas disgust me. Straight up. You niggas are actually worse than incels. Because at least incels have a fucking respectability to stay the fuck out the game and not devolve the race by reproducing with trash. I don't give a fuck about what you niggas say. Fuck you. I said what the fuck I said. Straight up. Straight up like that. And I'm not even just talking about weight. Again, that nigga is with a female that is mentally unhinged. Sha'Carri. Now, granted, I understand clout of it and all that, so is he something, but still. Like, y'all are dealing with crazy chicks, like women. It's a problem. You can even really throw some criticism at. I've said it with DDG. I've said that if DDG, I'm bringing all this stuff together. I said with DDG, once DDG understood who she was, like what was she about, all that, you got all these text messages, but you still busted in that shit. Some of them text messages predate that baby. You nutted in that woman. Why? This is why people be saying you were low-key trying to clout off of her and you trying to create a storyline. And now it's like, oh, you want that baby and your heartstrings being played with. So I'm not like this, oh, men are just never accountable shit. I'm not that. But you're accountable to your own outcomes, like I said. I don't get trapped in this virtue signaling bullshit because it's not so much about what is right, because what is right is subjective. It really is. There are certain universal golden rules, but for the most part, it's really about did you get the outcome you wanted. And what a lot of women like to do is blame all men for the nigga they couldn't control. Because they don't have leverage, or they thought they had leverage. It turns out they didn't have leverage. Black women do not know what to do with niggas that they do not have sexual leverage over. This is why they become control freaks. And they try to use things like babyism, babies, and playing with their womb in order to try to create leverage. Now this is where I'm getting to what I'm really going to talk about. You know good and goddamn well that when it comes to, there are multiple scenarios. First of all, women lie their ass off. Let's just say that. Number one. Number two, we know the courts are on the side of the woman and not the man. It's called the 10 years doctrine. And when you niggas talk about you did it right, you did it right, you did it right, you ain't nothing but your bitch going to the fucking court and serving you divorce papers from being and it's who talk about it's the difference between the ex-husband and the baby daddy. That's what Benny was saying. And it's like these niggas, like a lot of niggas would have kids if women didn't abort those kids. Black women have an exacerbated amount of abortions. A lot of y'all, so it's like on the one hand, we're in a community where if you ain't getting no hoes, you can't really talk shit, to the point where the women will say it's a red flag if you don't got kids. But on the other hand, now we're trying to talk about, oh, if you have as if it's your choice, if you have a baby before you carry, that's the woman's choice. You can wear a condom break. Here's the reality. The only real guarantee to not get a black female pregnant is to just not fuck them. That's the only guarantee, is to not have sex with them, because as a collective culture, they have a culture of having children out of wedlock. Versus other communities, there's a penalty they got to pay with that, especially if you're a black man, which incentivizes them to not really do that like that with black men. Because now that's a reminder that you were mud sharking and whatever these white boys want to call burning the coal, pay the toll, dirty, whatever rate, whatever term for whatever race of women, you get what you get it. But with black women, they have nothing to lose. Black women have children for selfish reasons. Black women have children because they want somebody to love them unconditionally. Black women have children because they're in heat. Black women have children because they're trying to keep a man. Black women don't really have kids for the man. They have kids for themselves. This is not to say other women don't have their own issues. We're talking about the black community right now. So at the end of the day, they're always trying to finesse. Most of these bitches purposely had them kids. Even with Haley Bailey, you saw it. Haley Bailey basically said, I will abort this motherfucker if you don't stay with me. And now that he probably basically, what he probably did was tried to stay with her, didn't work out, and now she thinks she's righteously justified in keeping that kid away from him. Fuck the kid is really about her. And nobody everybody around her, including her sister, should really be putting massive pressure on her. Not just her parents, her sister. Because at the end of the day, that's your nephew. And if you know that DDG wasn't putting hands on her like that, that's your obligation. But whatever. My point is, you want to talk about baby daddyism like niggas are just like niggas can force these women to get married. Black women do not want to get married. Most black women do not want to get married unless it's some kind of and this is how I know this is true. Ask them what are they willing to sacrifice to get married, and it'll be crickets. Black women want to get married in a perfect, either to a white man or to a perfect situation. A nigga, they typically want a nigga that's already established. That is generally not how that works. Because if you get with a nigga that's already established, you don't have leverage. You don't have any leverage. You don't. This is where prenups come in and all this stuff come in, because why? They want an on-point simp. People can talk about, money when it comes to like Russell Wilson and all that. What's called had her own money and her own brand. Let's cut the bullshit, man. And so when we look at this situation, Dana is being disingenuous. And it ain't even Dana. Dana ain't even really one that's getting on me. It's you stupid fucking commenters. You that y'all are in the black community, but y'all are saying, oh yeah, man, you got cooked. You motherfuckers are stupid as fuck. And I promise you, if we actually had an actual conversation and we actually ironed out all this stuff and really laid out the situation, you got hoes out here going to Facebook groups in order to get sperm to do what Ebony K. Williams did the cheap way. Like, there are actual apps out here for lesbian women, black women, as well as black women that just want a baby to go get a baby. Remember that small hat dude that had all them kids because they went and go see him? Get the entire fuck out of here. The difference is black men, if a nigga ain't shit, black men don't hide from that. Black men do not circle the wagons around other black men. They don't. Right is wrong is wrong, and we stand on it. Even John was standing on it for Mark. They talk, and then here's another thing that annoys me. Y'all are creating false narratives in order to be right. That's some shit only women do. Like, for real, because men will call that shit out. Like, y'all saying he was hiding his baby. His baby is on his Instagram fucking profile. Ain't nobody looking at Mark like that. Ain't nobody really examining Scarface Mark like that. You see the video, you get the take, and you either agree with it or you don't. You go in the comment section. Like, what this nigga was supposed to make a fucking announcement? He was supposed to have, like, I actually think they had a gender thing. Like, what, he's supposed to show you his family and all that? This is the same bullshit with Kevin Samuels. They want to say, well, you married, but you not married now. Kevin was trying to tell you bitches how to get married. Not necessarily how to, if you say he ain't the expert on how to stay married, okay, cool. You fair enough. But Kevin was trying to tell women how to get married, and which he already did twice. Versus Cheyenne Bryant ain't been married at all. Obviously, Dana don't fuck with Cheyenne Bryant. I'm not trying to put her in a category. This is not really so much directed at her, because she ain't the one that really annoyed me. Because at the end of the day, she been jumping on women so hard, and I remember where she came from. So it was a matter of time, and she already said something about Passport Bros. So I already know she gonna do what Media Man and them be doing, which is balancing the scales a little bit, because content's gonna content. So I'm not even sweating her, but like, real talk, I'm very kind of annoyed and disappointed at how fucking stupid a lot of this community is, as far as people that listen to this shit. Like, for real. Like, it's really, this shit is all joking games. This shit is all fun and fun. This is a real situation with the real community. And at the end of the day, you all fucking know what the fucking issue with single mothers are. Number one, single mothers try to pull resources. They pull resources from their parents. They pull resources from everybody for the most part. Now, it ain't every last one, but stop fucking playing with me. It's most. They pull resources from the community, and they don't want to be accountable to nobody. They just want the state to pay them. They want what? Is this every single mother? No. But don't fucking, but the ones that don't are exceptions. Women are being boosted by a lot more than what they like to give credit to. They want to talk about what the fuck they not going to do when it's a whole bunch of women. Understand, going back to Sha'Carri Richardson. Who the fuck did, when Sha'Carri got her ass whooped by them Jamaican females, she had to crawl her stupid little ass back to her coach, her black male coach. That actually is the reason why, she's talented, not taking that away. But they got her disciplined enough to be seen. That's what it is. And so dudes don't never get no credit for shit. Just like when Ari Lennox is talking shit about Martin and now Bernie Mac, as if Martin and Bernie Mac didn't give a lot of black women opportunities. That's why Tashina Arnold, and shout out to her for coming out and defending Martin, because Martin is having a lot of mental issues. Martin is not as bad as Bruce Willis, but he's not doing well. And so Ari Lennox, fucking color girl ass, I say color girl, color girl problems. Oh my God, I think I'm ugly. I can't get the man I want. So fuck all these old heads. You going after soft targets, niggas that are dead and niggas that can't really defend themselves. Because if you go after somebody like Cameron or something like that, they gonna check your ass. When in reality, J. Cole is the reason why you matter. J. Cole's the one that brought you to the fucking dance. A mixed dude. So it's like, yo, a lot of these, whatever. But my thing is, when you have these like this conversation about baby baby daddyism, like when you talk about a nigga like NBA YoungBoy, who got like what 14 kids at 25, but guess what? At the end of the day, how these bitches don't care. That like NBA YoungBoy, if he really wanted to, he could have 100 kids because that's how goofy these chicks are. That's a female culture problem because NBA YoungBoy, we know what it's called when you try to force sex on somebody. It is women's job to protect their wombs. It's women's job to marry for carry. This is not me past you. Oh, well, you just trying to get out of accountability. Life holds black men accountable. The law holds black men accountable. Child support holds black men accountable. Your ability to not see your kids hold black men accountable, which makes it so your kids turn on you. Women, there's little things like paternity fraud is not even like illegal like that in most states. Let's cut the bullshit. And so to sit here and try to act like baby daddyism, the solution to baby daddyism is SYSBM. Stop having, you got to basically say all black women are damaged goods. Their culture is irreconcilable. Black women have culture HIV. You can't have kids with them. You can't even fuck them. Because that's the only way. Because black women culturally have a nothing to lose mentality when it comes to children. They don't have really a penalty in a real way that compels them to not have a baby. When these women, they may not want to be mothers and deal with it, but a lot of these chicks, even the ones that have abortions, what happens is they get in their 30s and they want to have a baby, so they start having these like last minute babies, fourth quarter babies, these, buzzer beater kids. This is why a lot of these chicks have kids young and then they have kids again in their 30s. And so a lot of women are taking sexual access and finessing babies out of these dudes. Now, we can argue, look, quiet as it's kept, a lot of black women don't like fucking if it's not raw. Straight up. That's how a lot of black women are. Y'all can say something, but not all. Bullshit. That's how most black women operate. And the reason why most black women, the ones that don't have kids, they know. Show me a woman that ain't got kids, and I'm going to show you a woman that's had at least a couple abortions. There's a separate savage rule, but let's cut the bullshit. That's why they all be so fucked up and these women be having so much mortality issues because they have kids later in life. And then on top of that, their vaginal wall and then a hormone, I forget, it's progesterone, whatever, it's designed to keep the egg intact, ain't there. Because they waited too late. They got a fucking crack house that's their womb because it's been scarred up by having that blade up in there. We not even talking, like, come on, man. Like, we can have the real conversation. But ultimately, it's like, you gonna pick him to have that? You gonna pick him? A baby mama maker is a nigga like NBA YoungBoy, like Nick Cannon. Like you could throw Cameron kind of in that because that was that Cheyenne Bryant bullshit she was pulling. But at the end of the day, in order for niggas to be baby mama makers, you need a whole bunch of women to co-sign that because it is women are legally empowered to protect their womb and control the birthing process. It is impossible for men to have these children for the most part, without women co-signing that. A woman has to not take the pill. A woman has to not be on the morning after pill. A woman has to not be on the pill. A woman has to be cool with not having condoms. It's not even scaled up. It's not even scaled up how many like decisions that women have to make versus men have to make. And then and the reality is, so to make it like a one-to-one thing is fucking irresponsible as hell because single motherhood is a culture. Like Red Pill has been saying, stop fucking niggas that don't want to be fathers. Stop fucking niggas. Stop marrying before you start marrying before you carry. But that is too hard to ask of black women. And quiet, because truth be told, a lot of black women, and this is the most damning thing, a lot of black women want a baby, but they don't want to be married. They don't want to be a wife. This is why they love talking about that partnership. They don't want to be obligated to anything. Anything. They want that man to do shit, but they don't want to be obligated to having to do anything. This is our culture. If it's every single female, no, but it is most. And are we just doing this for views, or are we calling out what actually needs to be called out? That T app absolutely showcased that. That T app absolutely proved these women are going out of their way to deal with niggas that do not give a fuck about them, ain't trying to have, these bitches ain't even going on dates before they get cracked. But then you getting pregnant and you trying to talk about we got pregnant. That's why when a lot of motherfuckers try to get mad at Ant-Man for doing what he did, I'm like, at the end of the fucking day, that bitch wanted that baby. Ant-Man said straight up, I don't want to have a baby with you. Ant-Man is like, what, 8 years younger than that chick? 10 years younger than that chick? I don't want to have a baby. I was fucking you, yeah, but I don't want to have a baby. Oh, well, you gonna do this and do that, blah, blah, blah. She used the baby as a finesse. You will not use my morality against me like that. See, a lot of black men don't understand fucking power, so they move into these like logic traps. Like Scarface didn't, but a lot of niggas move in these little logic traps or virtue traps because you niggas got this ideology. Like, I'm gonna keep it all real. A lot of you niggas are bitches in your own marriage. No, that's probably not Benny. No, that's probably not John Ganny. Okay, let me be clear about that. But let's keep it real. A lot of niggas are bitches, and I'm talking about white men too. Because if you're in a sexless marriage, you're hostage. Because you doing everything you supposed to do. You still bringing in the money. You still doing all of that. You're a fucking hostage. But if you cheat, guess what? You're bad. You got to deal with the narrative bullshit of that. And you got to deal, it's like the only thing you can do is what Christian had to do. I'm kind of trying to lie this together. But it is what it is. And we're in a situation where women can pretty much do what they want, and anybody, and men just gotta deal. Men just gotta, deal with it. And y'all let me tell you something. Black people love righteousness because it gives them an excuse to be weak, and it gives black men in particular an excuse to not exercise power. Real talk. I ain't saying black men supposed to be on this type of mode all the time, but black men supposed to have a mode where it's kind of like, yo, bitch, what I said goes. I'm pulling rank. I don't pull rank all the time, but I'm pulling rank here. And you just gonna be mad. And black men are supposed to put themselves in position to be able to exercise that when needed. Sometimes you're not gonna be able to always exercise that, but you need to be able to exercise that when you need to. And one thing about Ant-Man, and people can say what they want to say, but he basically said, look, you see how stupid she looked. Because she was banking on making him look bad. But because she can't, she has no cars. Oh, but what about that daughter? She don't give a fuck about that daughter. She don't give a fuck about that daughter. And that's not to say he ain't got other issues with other women. These women do not get with these NBA players to create families. They use these babies as a finesse. These babies are weapons. They're not a blessing. They're financially transmitted diseases. That's what they do. And the only way to disincentivize that is basically to call a bluff on shit and be in position where that doesn't affect you. Luckily, because Ant-Man is a villain in the NBA, he can kind of pull that move when most of the time, most dudes wouldn't be able to pull that move. And so she don't know what to do. She talk about before I take full custody. She don't give a fuck about that baby. I don't see y'all saying nothing to her. I mean, well, a little bit, but you get what I'm saying. She brought a kid into this world for financial gain. And it's obvious. And so we gonna say, well, right is right. Fuck y'all and right. At the end of the day, it really needs to come down. What the fuck you gonna do about it? Black men need to start having some what the fuck you gonna do about it hanging shit. Not a guy, for real. This is where your level, black men, I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. Niggas need to check their corners. Where are you exposed to on? Can you shore that up? And it's hard because obviously we know what the law is. That's why Ant-Man sat there and paid that whole shit up. Okay, I'll pay it all the way up. And truth be told, he did her a favor because that's interest. You gotta think about it. With inflation over 18 years, him giving her all the money up front is actually way more money. Whatever that he had to give, I think it was 1.8 million. That's worth way more now than that's gonna be 18 years from now. Most of us are old enough to remember how much candy and shit used to cost. Candy's $3 fucking. We remember that bitch used to be 50 cents. So that money is so he's actually doing her a solid by doing that. But we know she's a money hungry bitch, and she basically is gonna burn through that cash, which is what he's calculating, and she know it. Which is why she mad. That bitch don't want to buy a house to sit her ass down. That's why that hoe went to California to try to have a baby. She ain't shit bitch. Fuck her and that baby. Fuck you and your righteousness. I'm an Old Testament Christian. The reality of the situation is the reality of the situation is that you are supposed to you are not supposed to let people use your righteousness as power, because especially when we're dealing with other racial groups, they don't do that, and we're doing the other racial groups, they will use that to control you. And women can fall in love with that because they're emotional by nature. Men are supposed to be smarter than that. And men, and unfortunately, because everything in the black community is in reverse order, the women don't believe in that, and the men absolutely believe in that. So this is why I never tell you, even though I'm bringing up the Bible now, for the most part, I never bring up God or anything like this. Everything has to be in the law of common sense and a lot of practicality. And the law of, are you happy with the outcome? So ultimately, and we don't, I'm going to say, because there's different stuff I've said in the actual upload I'm going to do. Things like a lot of women don't be wanting to get married. They don't want to be putting paper on it. That's what a lot of it is. It ain't always that the dude don't want to get married. A lot of it, and I'm not, and Mark can speak for himself, but Mark is really more of an allegory of like an avatar of this situation. This thing with niggas ain't supposed to have kids, niggas supposed to be genetic dead ends because of what you bitches are doing. Even when Dana tried to do the shit with Passport Bros to get married. Yo, these bitches are fucking, you want to keep it all the way real, a lot of these bitches are fucking 16, 17-year-old Jamaicans in fucking Jamaica. That's what, they don't give a fuck. They don't care. If you look the part, you are the part. That's why them Jamaican women were actually complaining. Because there was so many black bitches. They're like, yo, it's more y'all. You fucking all these fucking, like an invasive species of water buffaloes coming down here. What the fuck? Who are these? You want to talk about some diaspora wars? That's some shit they definitely could bring up if they really wanted to pop on black women. And you don't believe me, they got a whole book, A Pursuit of Happiness, A Black Woman's Dream, that's in Duke University Press. It's written, this ain't no girls trip or shit like that. But she was saying that too. And I mean, it is what it is, but it's like, oh yeah, why aren't you married? Why aren't you married? Because it's almost like, okay, well, because I'm a male, I'm going to fuck, and when I'm ready to get married and settle down, I'm going to settle down. Just like women. The same women talking about they shouldn't get married until they're 30, and who knows how many bodies they catching. And by the way, women value men with sexual experience. Men value women with lack of use, with low mileage. So it's not the same. We're different. It's like all this basic stuff that now we got to all of a sudden come out with. We got to start doing ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of relationships because people take advantage of the fucking idiots out here in the audience. Because these people get on this phone and they really more about arguing than actually solving a problem. That's really what it is. And I'm not talking about the content creators as much as I'm talking about the audience, because the audience drives a lot of content creator behavior. And that's kind of what I'm really harping about. Because the audience kind of drives a lot of what the discourse is going to be. Because that's what drives the virility of stuff. And so we have a real culture problem. You got motherfuckers out here virtue signaling. Like, I don't got an issue with John Gannon, but at the end of the day, nigga, you gotta show me you fuck black bitches. Because if you haven't, then what the fuck you talking about? Because we're not talking about multiculturalism either. We're talking about the black community. That's what we're talking about. And that's not to say he can't say anything. I know people that are married to Asians and this, that have their, but they did date black women before they got married. So I'm not saying that's the be all end all. But what I am saying is at the end of the day, your solution is SYSBM. And everybody says SYSBM is bad. So what are we talking about? As if white women have the same value. I mean, look, John is a janitor. And I'm not hating, he makes money. Apparently his family's got a janitor business. Nigga, you know what, if you say I'm a janitor, if John were to, think about it. If John were to go to the Pop the Balloon show, right? John probably wouldn't get his balloon popped immediately. They wouldn't pop it all. But as soon as, what do you do for a living? I'm a janitor. If he said I'm a janitor, if he said I own a cleaning company, a cleaning business or company, it don't matter how he would have said that. Some of them would have popped that shit. Most of them would have popped that shit. Well, I don't know. I mean, they would have talked about, oh man, well, he ain't G'd up, he's a little bit rough around the edge. They would have said all that goofy ass shit. We know let's cut the bullshit. Let's cut the bullshit top. Benny too. Benny, like, come on, man. Like, let's cut the bullshit for a second. And I just can't stand the fucking smugness and shit. Like, motherfuckers don't know what we all fucking know. That's the thing that kind of annoys the fuck out of me. And all of these niggas are really Johnny come latelys. They haven't really truly dived in this fucking information. A lot of y'all ain't even old enough to even real talk have a lot of perspective on a lot of shit. Cause y'all don't know everything that fucking switched up. Truth be told. And so niggas come on here like oh man, you know, I'm married, so I did it right. Nigga, you got out the game because you were smart enough to realize that, come on man, cut the bullshit. And for what Anton say, his wife pursued him. I mean, when are we gonna cut the bullshit for a second? And so when you got motherfuckers sitting here trying to judge niggas on being fathers, is he active? Yeah, man, you having babies. Nigga, if it was up to us, most of us wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have this problem if you had male birth control. Stop it. If men had the ability to control male birth control, we wouldn't have this problem. But we also probably wouldn't have a population. So, I mean, people just be playing, yo. Oh, man, why you mad? You sound real hella... No, it's people love saying stupid ass shit. Think it ain't smart. Because it's a game. The black community ain't a fucking game. It really ain't. It ain't a game to me. Like, nigga, this shit ain't... Like, y'all, some of y'all got kids. So, real talk, y'all kids gonna have to fucking deal with this bullshit. Or the lack of this shit being resolved. Y'all playing. Y'all are fucking playing. So we, yeah, man, what about these baby fathers? The difference between black men and black women is black women know the bullshit they've been doing. Black women are basically throwing that pussy and popping that pussy, and then they call a nigga that they really like, and then they want to have a baby because they in heat. You want to talk about men ejaculating? We've been shaming that. That's why that's not controversial when black men shame it. Because we've been doing that. And you see that in the statistics. Black men occupy the widest gap between children of any race. So it's obvious. We ain't even gonna talk about just the massive abortions that black women did, fucking exterminating the black community. Even Jeff James brought that up. This is about culture. And a culture of defiance. And single motherhood is the single greatest example of that defiance. It's a single greatest example of going to the state. Because it wouldn't be a lot of single mothers if the state didn't back that shit up. These chicks would harm these kids. Because they would be that angry and that tired of them. Well, if men stepped up, they purposely look for men that don't step up because a man that's gonna hold his take care of business is a man that's gonna they can't control, and it's a man that's gonna want to be in their business too much. Let's stop acting like these women don't go out of their way to look for the type of niggas they end up with. I don't know why y'all fronting, why y'all lying, why y'all playing. Like I don't get it. And so we sitting here talking about it's the same. Yeah, baby daddy. Real talk, if you got only one kid. And look, I'm not, oh man, you just defending men. Nah, it was a Liberian chick I was talking. I was having a conversation. I wasn't talking to her, but I was having a conversation with her. And she was saying, her baby situation. Where her baby, who's an ADOS dude, a light-skinned dude, and I was on her side because it was little things she was saying that showed me, okay, she's not lying. Like, for instance, the kids, he had 2 kids with her, not 1 kid with her. So if you have 2 kids with a chick, it's not an accident. Those kids were relatively back-to-back, too. So it's like within three years. So it's not an accident. It's not, oh, you just playing. No, it's not an accident. That's intentional. That means, yeah, nigga, you went back. So it's not like you had a kid. So, yeah. And I was on her side. Yeah. And that nigga got a Mexican chick pregnant. And the Mexican chick talking all this hella shit and blah, blah, blah. Yes, that nigga ain't shit. But guess what? The problem is, I can say that nigga ain't shit. I can't stop y'all from fucking that nigga, though. I can't stop you from fucking them. So I need y'all to explain to me what I'm supposed to do. So, like Nick Cannon, I can say Nick Cannon ain't shit. For him, I'm doing it. I can't stop the next bitch from having a kid. Now can I? What about like seriously? Like let's have a real conversation about that. Ain't nobody stopping these women. These women don't care. They just want sympathy after the fact. And so when we talk about baby mama makers and shit like that, these women volunteer for that role. Nick Cannon was absolutely proof. Nick Cannon ain't even no nigga that's got juice like that. And Nick Cannon was able to pull that shit off. What are you talking about? These women have kids by the motherfuckers they want to have kids by. And sitting there talking about he got you pregnant, that's bullshit. If you're not married, he didn't get you pregnant. You wanted to be pregnant. And until motherfuckers actually like be honest about that, ain't nothing gonna change. So anyway, I gotta upload going into more details about this. It'll have videos of back and forth so y'all know like Ed, what the fuck are you talking about? So anyway, I'm gonna work on that, try to get that out. Before I leave, shout out to Xanatos. They're going to use the I got the game defense for banging hungry hippos. Yeah, man, yeah. I don't even take them niggas seriously. Like I said, man, you niggas fucking bitches north of like 200 and north of 200, really north of 200 and like 40 pounds, 230 pounds. You niggas are disgusting. You niggas are worse than incels. Because you're essentially devolving the race. You're reproducing. And really, if that's the best you can do, you shouldn't be reproducing. You're literally devolving the race. So you're actually worse than incels. You're actually like a fucking invasive species. Like straight up. Like, trust me. I can't tell you how disgusted I am by niggas that do that. You niggas are weak as shit. For real. Niggas be fucking for room and board and shit. Don't even get me started. I ain't got no problem holding the black men accountable. But what we not gonna do is when niggas, when these put what these chicks do, play pussy games on these niggas. Anyway, I'm out.